When I worked here in 1968, I worked closely with many of the Providence sisters, and I'm so happy that we're continuing their devoted mission today.
We take so much for granted with our modern technology. They had no cars, no cell phones, no running water, electricity, or modern equipment or medicine. I think they would be very proud of where we are today and what we have achieved.
It's pretty amazing what these women accomplished. They followed a call from God, and they did not let discouragement get the best of them. They found ways to overcome obstacles, and they've left us with quite a legacy to continue their mission of compassionate service.
I'm very happy to say that I was born here at St. Mary Medical Center. I was taught by the Sisters of Providence all my 12 grades, and I also knew some hospital sisters. Some of our relatives have said over the years that in their case, it was really true that a sister made the difference in their health care, whether they lived or not. In 1863, Father Brulé of St. Patrick's Parish went to Vancouver, Washington to plead for sisters from Mother Joseph, who was already there. Later, she and Sister Catherine came to Walla Walla to select a site. Walla Walla was then only 50 families. Edmund Barron, a local banker, donated 2 blocks for a hospital, academy, and institutions. 3 sisters taught and took in boarders and visited the sick and the homebound. Mother Joseph opened St. Vincent Academy 1 year later in 1864. Our Catholic schools here continue to this day. Walla Walla grew and needed a hospital. The Sisters of Providence General Council in Montreal gave permission to build a hospital separate from the school. Townspeople here and St. Patrick Parish women held a bazaar. The sisters made dangerous trips to mountain camps to beg money from the miners. On August 3, 1879, St. Mary's received its name, and it opened on January 27, 1880, with 7 patients. Sister John of the Cross was the first administrator. Only 3 years later, a new building was needed at a cost of $30,000. In 1884, they received a $2,000 contract to care for the county's poor. The Northern Pacific Railroad then gave them a contract for its employees at $1 a day. In 1884, St. Mary's was one of the first places in Walla Walla to install telephones. Medical insurance was offered in 1886. You had to buy a ticket for free board, medicines, and care for $10 a year. In 1907, the School of Nursing began, and it continued until 1958. All along in the history of St. Mary's, we see the providence of God certainly being present and helping.
With the dawn of the new year in 1915, an avalanche of calamities all but overwhelmed the St. Mary's Hospital in Walla Walla. On January 27th, the 35th anniversary of the foundation of St. Mary's Hospital, everything was running in the usual fashion. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Sister Cormier, who passing the chapel on the way to her office, stopped to make a visit. She knelt at the communion rail and to her surprise heard a crackling sound. Thinking that it might be the sanctuary lamp, Sister started an investigation. By chance, she happened to glance at the choir loft and saw flames racing through the ceiling. She quickly told the others of the alarming news. The fire department was called, and in less than 4 minutes was on the spot for ready action. One patient was still being operated on at the time of the fire. The doctors finished the case, put him through a window in a waiting ambulance. It was certainly a trying ordeal for the sisters to see their home being destroyed by flames and to watch the walls tumble down. By noon, nothing remained standing of the hospital, which had sheltered so many of the sick of Walla Walla. Sisters were sent from the different missions of the Sisters of Providence to help in the work for preparation prior to the opening of the temporary site. With the new life of St. Mary's, things settled down to a near normal routine, and work began on planning for a new hospital. The cost of the new hospital was to be around $200,000, and the sisters had in their possession only $62,000. They received a loan of $100,000 interest-free and were hoping to raise the balance of $38,000 by subscriptions. Once again, the commercial club came forward to help. They sent out a letter to the people of Walla Walla asking for donations to obtain the necessary funds to ensure the building of the new hospital. The president of the club designated a St. Mary's Hospital Day, in which the men of Walla Walla were vying with the women of Walla Walla and with each other as to who could turn in the largest amount at the end of the day. In Walla Walla, the honor went to the women workers for securing the largest subscription. The total had reached $12,000 by the end of one-day campaign. A local bank reconsidered their loan amount for the rest of the needed money, and ground for the new hospital was officially broken on August 11, 1915. On September 19, 1916, 20 months after the devastating fire, carriages, wagons, autos, and ambulances made their way with patients from Fort Walla Walla to their new home. On the evening of April 15, 1917, fire struck again. At 9 p.m., the alarm sounded, and within a few minutes, the fire department was at work, this time in a laundry, where a dryer had become overheated and ignited. Prayers were offered in thanksgiving that it was nothing more serious and that no great damage had been done. For the next 4 years, the life and activity of St. Mary's Hospital followed the normal routine of any hospital. However, on April 8, 1922, an unusual noise was detected by a sister in surgery. Upon investigating, she found flames shooting to the ceiling in one of the adjoining rooms. The fire was quickly contained, but significant damage was done. Even today, the real cause of the fire is not known. At the time in the city, there was a religious agitator named Three-Finger Jack who had made a speech the night before saying that all religious institutions, like the one on 5th Street, must disappear. He was not to be found during or after the fire. As if the fires weren't enough, a new trial visited the hospital in March of 1931. The residents of Walla Walla were notified that Mill Creek had overflowed its banks. In less than 2 hours, the town was flooded. Water and mud flew down the avenue in front of the hospital, and within a matter of minutes, the basement and boiler room were flooded. The sisters were grateful, of course, that no injuries occurred. A fundraising drive aimed at building a new and modern hospital began in 1971. To reflect the community's support and investment, the name was changed to St. Mary Community Hospital in 1973. A new building, the current St. Mary's, opened on March 26, 1976. The $13 million facility was licensed for 142 beds and was renamed St. Mary Medical Center.
To meet the needs of the community that we serve, St. Mary's has always been improving its facilities and its technology, expanding many times to meet the needs as the people have them. The Outpatient Procedure Center was opened in 1988. Our St. Mary Regional Cancer Center opened in 1990. The Poplar Medical Complex was opened in 1991, and the Chase Medical Complex in 2001. In 2003, St. Mary embarked on an ambitious $28 million expansion. An elegant new entrance and pharmacy, as well as admitting, emergency, and imaging departments opened in 2004. In 2006, Providence St. Mary Medical Center completed the construction of a new Providence St. Mary Regional Cancer Center and the Outpatient Procedure Center. These were all addressing the needs that were developing in our community. Through our entire history, Providence St. Mary has held fast to our values of our founders, the Sisters of Providence. We honor the sacrifices, dedication, and vision of those who came before, and we look forward to a future of continuing to provide quality health care to the people of our region, always remembering to care for the poor and vulnerable.